Welcome to The Newsworthy. All the day's news in less than 10 minutes. Fast, fair, fun, and on the go. Thanks so much for listening, and thank you to Salon.com and Radio Public for naming The Newsworthy one of the 12 essential current events podcasts. Today, we're talking controversy over Alabama's Senate seat and new blood pressure guidelines. Plus, Lyft leaves the U.S., Lord of the Rings on Amazon, and the world's oldest wine. All that and much more in less than 10 minutes. I'm Erica Mandy. Today is Tuesday, November 14th. You ready? Let's do this. Another woman, the fifth one now, is accusing Roy Moore of attacking her when she was just 16. Moore is the guy hoping to get elected to the Alabama Senate seat. The New York Times reports the new accuser held a press conference yesterday, and she said Moore groped her and left bruises when she was just a teenager. Now the Wall Street Journal says more senators are calling on him to drop out of the race, even his fellow Republicans. Some are now hoping to find a new person to run in Roy Moore's place as a write-in candidate because it's too late to remove Moore's name off the ballot. There's reportedly even talk of getting Attorney General Jeff Sessions to fill the seat, if necessary. That one, though, is still up in the air. Moore is pushing back. He's saying, too bad, I'm not dropping out. And he's called the accusations against him fake news. The special election to decide who gets that Senate seat is December 12th. The president's son, Donald Trump Jr., had a few back-and-forth messages with the Twitter account for WikiLeaks. Remember, WikiLeaks released some of Hillary Clinton's private emails, and some of these Twitter messages were before the presidential election last year. The Atlantic first reported there were messages, but then Trump Jr. himself tweeted out some of these messages saying, "Here you go, take a look, what's the big deal?" Trump Jr.'s lawyer agrees and says there's no issue. The AP reports some Democrats, though, are calling for more of an investigation. The White House has made its pick and nominated Alex Azar as the next Health and Human Services Secretary, basically the guy to lead the way on U.S. health policy. The Washington Post reports this is a guy who was a pharmaceutical exec for years. He spent a decade at Eli Lilly, but he also has some experience in government. Supporters say he's well qualified and thinks conservatively. President Trump even tweeted he'll be a star for better health care and lower drug prices. Critics, though, say he's too close to the drug industry to be able to regulate it properly. A big change to what's considered high blood pressure, and you may not like it. Time reports it's the first change in 14 years. The American Heart Association is lowering the numbers. So, under these new guidelines, nearly half of American adults have what's considered high blood pressure. Before, the threshold was 140/90. Now, anything above 130/80 is considered high. The reason for this? More research that shows the lower your blood pressure, the lower your chance for early heart-related death or death from any cause. Normal blood pressure is 120/80. Of course, exercise and a healthy diet can help bring down your blood pressure numbers. Bill Gates just got real serious about finding a cure for Alzheimer's. He's donating $100 million of his own money. Bill Gates, of course, is the billionaire who co-founded Microsoft, and Reuters reports he's now investing $50 million in the Dementia Discovery Fund, and then another $50 million will go to startups working on Alzheimer's research. Right now, there's no treatment that can slow down the progression of the brain disease. Current drugs just ease some of the symptoms. 15,000 scientists from 184 countries have a pretty big warning. Stop destroying Earth before it's too late. The Daily Mail reports the first warning letter like this went out back in 1992. Since then, most of the major threats listed have gotten worse. So a bunch more scientists just signed a second warning letter. And it was pretty straightforward. It says the human impact on the planet will likely lead to, quote, vast human misery. The letter's title says it's a warning to humanity, and it calls for people to eat less meat, have fewer kids, consume less, and use green energy to save the planet. All right, other things people may be talking about today. Rookie of the Year. The vote was unanimous. Everyone agreed Yankees baseball player Aaron Judge should get the title of the 2017 American League's Rookie of the Year. ESPN quoted him saying, "It's a dream come true." And by the way, he's also a finalist for the American League MVP, Most Valuable Player Award. That winner will be announced on Thursday. Apparently, people have liked wine for even longer than we thought, like 8,000 years. The BBC says scientists in the country of Georgia found pottery fragments with some wine compounds left on them, dating back as far as 5980 BC. Now, it's being called the world's oldest wine. Lyft is leaving the U.S. for the very first time. TechCrunch reports Lyft will launch in Toronto next month. but the company is already signing up drivers. Toronto is the largest city in Canada. P.S. Lyft's biggest competitor, Uber, is already there and has been there for 5 years. Amazon is going all out on its video streaming options. Reuters says the company just bought the TV rights to The Lord of the Rings. It's being called possibly Amazon's biggest and most expensive move yet to get more Prime members. The new Lord of the Rings series will apparently have some new storylines, likely a prequel to the 3 movies. Those movies, by the way, brought in $3 billion and 17 Academy Awards. A high-end brand is coming to a low-cost retailer. TechCrunch reports Lord & Taylor will start selling its high-end clothes on Walmart.com in the spring. But don't expect to see Lord & Taylor pants for $9.99. It will apparently have its own section on Walmart.com. The report says Walmart wants to get more customers ready to spend that otherwise wouldn't get to their site. For Lord & Taylor, it's also about getting some more traffic. Walmart already bought other clothing brands like ModCloth. As for the competition, Amazon, for example, now has Prime Wardrobe, where you can order several clothing items to try on, then keep and pay for what you want and return the rest. Taylor Swift's new album, Reputation, brought in enough sales in just one day to claim the largest sales week of 2017. Billboard reports she sold more than 700,000 copies in the U.S. in the first 24 hours. And she's on track to have Reputation become this year's biggest selling album after only 1 week.
Look what you just made me do, look what you just made me ooh.
And that's it. You are all caught up. If you want to read more about any of the stories we talked about today, you can do that on thenewsworthy.com. Just click episodes at the top of the homepage, find today's date, and you'll see all the links right there. Be sure to subscribe wherever you listen so you don't miss an episode, and you can always get episodes sent straight to your email. Just sign up for that on thenewsworthy.com. I so appreciate you listening and spreading the word. The Newsworthy is available every day, Monday through Friday by 4 a.m. Eastern Time. I'll be back tomorrow with more news. Until then, have a great day.